Okay. We are back. I actually wanted to start it a lot sooner on this today, but my body said no. Um body very emphatically said no. I slept through an alarm and husband's like, she's tired. I'll let her sleep. And I'm like, no, 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 I needed to be up. I was like, why didn't you wake me up if I was sleeping through the alarm? He's like, oh, you seem tired. And I'm like, yeah, but we have dogs to get to places and fed, and you were gonna try to take my mom somewhere today. And it's like, wake me up. I'm like, I was so confused when I did, like, fall back to consciousness, and I was like, listening to what I had playing, and I'm like, why hasn't the alarm gone? Hi! Stop it! Like, why hasn't the alarm gone off yet? So, it did not end up storming very much yesterday. It turned into mostly rain for us. There were some rumbles of thunder around. Oh shit, that wasn't that color was supposed to be. Damn it. Um, that's okay. We'll just fill this all in with white. See, this is how tired I am. I'm making mistakes. Um, there was some rumbles of thunder around 4 or 5 a.m. I think it was actually 5 a.m. Husband thought it was 4 a.m. And that was it. It did rain off and on for the majority of the day. So, we weren't able to take them anywhere because he hates getting his feet wet, Zuzu. To be clear, is the he I'm referring to in this instance. And, so I spent all day cooking and working on the needle felted version of this, which just I'm not happy with how it came out. My husband is deeply amused by it because he's like, it looks like a Muppet, and I'm like, oh, stop. He's like, no, it's great, and I'm like, no, it's really not. It's terrible. He is deeply amused by the jerpy needle felted version of it. Well, I'm glad you're amused. Don't know how my brother's going to feel about it. He's probably gonna think it's terrible. But I was working on that till like 11, maybe 11:30. Like all day. I only stopped briefly working on it to have dinner. Kind of lost the center of my flower. What the? Oh, they're picking up trash on a Friday? Since when do they pick up trash on a Friday? Our trash day's not till Monday. Trash truck just pulled over because we had a bag sitting in our front yard. And just grabbed it. Okay. Weird. Very weird. Okay, so that's kind of drying. So strange how some of these colors are so liquidy. Others of them are so thick. Right, well, I'm waiting for the flour to dry. Bring up my color. Because I realized I kind of need my collar done. That's a new guy. Plus, it doesn't help that we would have originally still been on vacation. So my brain was like, vacation? I want to be on vacation. You promised me a vacation. If I can get this done this weekend, which I'm not sure I can, it might take me till Monday. Because I finished the needle felted one, and my mom's like, I thought you said you weren't anywhere near done. I was like, the painting, I'm not. I'm nowhere near done the painting. That was a secondary one I was working on. We didn't stream that one. I just really want to go back to bed. Oh my goodness. Why am I so heckin' tired? Holy cow. Didn't get any editing done yesterday at all. Of anything. Yesterday was strictly spent working on this. I almost decided to just record the rest of this, but then I was gonna have to edit it, and I've already got enough to edit, and I'm like, And I was like, okay, well, if I record it, what am I doing? What am I doing on Monday if I finish this? And I'm not entirely sure. I like have a vague idea. Of what we might do. And I think that might be the husband coming back, and I need to go grab the cat. So if you all can give me a minute, I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I had to grab Bean because we still can't trust him around doors opening. It's gonna be a shorter stream this afternoon. because in a little while we have to take the dogs to the park for their afternoon outing. Because if we don't, Zuzu will explode into a million bits of fur. And he will not stop pestering me if we don't. He was driving me mad yesterday because he's like, hey, 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 we didn't go. Hey, hey, you're not allowed to work. We didn't go. I'm like, buddy. Buddy, we can't go. It's pouring rain. And you don't like getting wet. Not to mention, you would be a drowned rat by the time we even got 5 feet from the car. Why did I? Why did I do that? I don't know what I was trying to do there. Literally do not know. I think I just simply missed base coating that in the sable color, I think. That's all it really is. Like there's this weird like cat or dog or something on the plastic of this um, collar. That I'm gonna need to try to fill in, or I just omit. The angle this dog is in this photo is so awkward. I think I might just omit it because it's just sections of this collar. Definitely need another pass here. Alright, let me rinse this. So while that is drying, I need to start filling in this. As we work to get this filled in. Okay, so while that middle bit is drying, I have an idea of something we can do on Monday if I finish this. Kind of. So that purple was called Purple Cow. And this is just snow titanium white. Rinse that. Got like a little towel behind me. Adding a little bit of a lighter version to these petals, just a little bit of color. Just to tint it. A little bit. Like there's a little bit of a design on the collar there. It's the same wipey towel that I've been using for a while. No reason not to. Gosh, that purple cow color. Definitely dries pretty dark there. Considering how much lighter it looked in the bottle to me. So I wanted to get the collar done before moving on to the fur in this section. Hello, Tammy. How are you? I'm tired. I will be glad when I am done these, because I had not originally planned on doing these. So it kind of added a little bit of extra rush time on getting these gifts done. But at least I'm not rushing to get them done after coming back from vacation, but I might have just bought him something while we were away. And just given it to him while he was there so I don't have to worry about paying shipping. But I got the magnet done, so finished that last night, very late. I'm just tired. Probably going to do another coat on that center piece there. Just keep thinking about how bad I want to nap already. Which is ridiculous because I have not been up that long. Okay. Some exciting news to tell you. I was originally going to save my leftover money, but I noticed that Star Wars The Fallen Order was on sale, so I bought it now, and I not only have the game, but I also have the deluxe edition. Oh, well, congratulations. Always nice to come across a sale that you weren't expecting. That's a pretty decent sale. Kind of hard to pass that up. We might take a look at a new game the husband won a copy of. What the heck was it called? Alba, I think? I don't really know much about it myself. He finally took a look at it. I think he originally tried to get it because he thought it was something I might like too. And he played a little bit of it. And he thinks it's something that I might like. I just haven't had time to look at it myself. Kind of feels like you're a scout or something. Like trying to find animals or something, from what I briefly gathered from the video. I'd been looking at it without sound, so I wasn't 100% sure if that was the entirety of it or if there was more to it. And that was just like a part of it. So, get this section in here. I'm not trying to get that spot like too heavily elongated because I know it's kind of going off the canvas here. Alright, so I don't know if I will be back tonight or not working on this. It really depends on how I'm feeling after dinner. I might just be too damn tired. We might have to pick it up tomorrow earlier in the day. Did you let Bean back out?
About to.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do another coat of that center piece there. Rinse that. I'm drying my brush in between. And this is acrylic paint. A acrylic craft paint, but still an acrylic paint. It was a little bit gentler on my budget than some of the other paint options out there. There's still all kinds of gold mica powder on my drying towel here from when we were working on the seahorse. Okay. So I'm not sure I'm gonna do that much detail on the collar. It might be weird since I didn't do that much detail on the hat. So, let me see here. All right. So I need to turn my fan because I don't want this to dry that fast. I might need to get another plate out in order to finish this. All right, so we've got some espresso. I need sable to start with. So we're gonna have some straight sable, some straight espresso, and then I'm gonna have a mixture of the two. Oh, who were we using for this? I think we were using this little guy actually. Wasn't sure what size brush I wanted to use to mix this. I probably should have went with the larger brush. This will kind of give me a slight in-between shade there. Let me rinse that as best as I can there. All right. So, actually, let me grab a little bit of this sable. And let me just kind of do a quick little fill in right there, because that should have been colored in that base color there. Alright, so while that is drying, grab a little bit, I'm going to tap a little bit of it off. And I'm just gonna bounce a bit of that in there. As best as we can. We're going to take some of our in-between color and just gonna kind of tap that in on top. 1 second. Okay. Sorry about that, but again, our caller ID likes to announce who's calling. And why the AI voice on it is kind of shitty. Sometimes it's not so shitty, so. Alright, I'm gonna grab a little bit of the sable. And I'm gonna start to work that in. Probably going to need to do some rinsing of this a bit more often than I did last time we were working on this, just because I had a lot of buildup in the brush that when it came time to get that out of there, it was a little bit of a challenge. I was trying to pick it out with part of my fingernail. I'm trying to work on this in chunks. Hopefully it will not look too stripey. Kind of why I'm trying to do some of the pouncy bits here so it doesn't look too clunky. Like too striped in. Without looking like too like patchy. I mean, we're gonna have some more like we're gonna have like another round of shading going in on top of it. So it shouldn't be like all that badly noticeable, but kinda blending them together a little bit on here as we go. Kind of, sort of. I can't spend too much time fussing at any one spot. So I'm trying to move while some of it is damp. I mean, some of it's dry by the time I get back to it. That's just how it is, but we'll see what we can make happen here. But I'm gonna have to like do it in smaller sections, I think. So like this whole section, I'm gonna have to like do a little bit of the dark and come back in with the middle. And I'm gonna probably finish this particular swath before I start over here. Like finish it with the dark colors to be clear. Sorry, it's slightly, ever so slightly warped on the one corner, so it's kind of tapping. And banging the desk. I'm trying to put pressure on it in a way that it's not doing it constantly. And I am trying to change up like my edge, my bottom edge, as I am adding the sections in, just so it's not quite so like straight rows. So that bottom edge is going to melt into the base color that I kind of slapped on here, just so I didn't have too much of that spice color shining through. Just gonna keep on alternating as I am working my way down here. And we've got another 3 colors, or 3? Yeah, 3 colors coming in on top of this, so shouldn't be too noticeably splotchy. And I know it might seem dumb that I'm doing that many different shades in here, but there's so many different shades of fur. It almost feels necessary. Alright. We'll get all of this popped into here. What time is it? Oh, goodness. This day is just vanishing on me. Like, I've barely gotten anything done on this. I might try to do a longer stream tomorrow. We will see how that goes. See how I'm feeling tomorrow. Gonna be the big factor. Okay. All of this just kind of worked into there. Like, I don't want to do the lighter sections in this spot until I get all of the dark sections worked in here. But yeah, I might need to grab my other paint plate. In fact, I'm pretty sure I'm going to need to. I'm going to end up running out of room on this one. Because these paints don't like to overlap on the palette very well. The dried paint will start to peel up once it gets the liquid from the other paints soaked into it. So it's only on plastic. Okay. All right. Okay. Next color. So this is just like the tedious process of layering in all of these shades here. Just because of the shading of this dog. Okay. We'll get all of that. I'm probably gonna have to do a rinse here after this section. Have you ever had Japanese cherry blossom hand lotion? No. I am very scent sensitive. There are like 2 scents that I have found that do not give me a migraine. And that is the Dragon's Blood incense from Wildberry and stuff that is lime scented. Well, some stuff that is lime scented. Some lime scented stuff can give me a migraine too. But depends on how it is. I can do lime scented hand lotion from like Key West Aloe. And Kermit's had a lime scented one that I could do. Aside from that, stuff has to be unscented. Even laundry detergent, I have to have unscented. I have to be real selective in shampoo and body wash and deodorant. It's absolutely awful. I can't do perfume. Yeah, I used to be able to wear like Vanilla Fields perfume, and I used to do all the fun scents from Bath and Body Works. Nope, can't do them. Like I hit 16 and forget it. I can't even stand being around people that are wearing heavy scents, I will get a migraine from being around people with a lot of perfume on, or I will start coughing like crazy. Going out and having to be in an enclosed space is not a fun experience, especially down here. Um, because apparently people that live, a lot of women that live in the South tend to really, really douse themselves in perfume. And I don't know if they realize they're doing it, but they're wearing way too much. You don't need to leave a scent trail behind you, like breadcrumbs through a forest, to find your way back. That's too much. Like, I shouldn't still be able to smell where you walked by after you've passed me. Like, that's too much. But a lot of people down here really overdo it. Like, I get it's your favorite scent and all, but it's not everybody else's favorite scent. And you might actually be causing someone a great deal of medical distress by layering on yourself so very much. Like, on my particularly bad days, people that have certain scents of hairspray on bother me. I felt really bad, but this one girl that I had to work with in close proximity to a lot when I was at Walmart, she was great, she was nice and all, but oh my goodness, she would wear so much smelly stuff. Um, Working in close proximity with her, I always ended up with a killer headache every time. That would, more often than not, flip into a full migraine. Like Tylenol or any of that just doesn't touch it. Alright, let me do a quick rinse here. Yeah, I don't know if I am just that sensitive or if they're just wearing that much, but it's... Did you let him out? Hi. Did you let him out? Alright. Like, I am not a girl that can handle all that. Candles, forget it. I will say, when we were last in Key West, it seemed like there was a lot of stores selling, I don't know if it was straight up marijuana or it was straight up marijuana. But it seemed like the stores that were next to them, as you walked past their storefronts and they had their doors open, just this god awful fake French vanilla smell coming out of the doors. And I don't know if they were doing that to try to combat the weed smell of their neighbors or what, but so many stores had the same smell coming out of them, like this weird fake French vanilla smell that would just smack you in the face as you walked past them on the street. I was like, oh god, well, I can't go in there. Kind of want some fur, kind of overlapping that silly flower on the collar. And I mean, it might have been the same in New Jersey as well, in certain places. I know the one lady I worked with, she was very much a girly girl and would have her perfume and her hand lotions and stuff, and I was like, oh God. And then a lot of the cashiers that worked in the cage that were kind of cage is what they called the main cashier window on the casino floor. Um, a lot of them were from um different countries originally where it was the norm to just like bathe in a like really strong perfume almost. And a lot of those ladies would come in at like 6 a.m. and I would be trying to stay as far away from them as possible because I had nowhere to go. Our departments, my department and their department, were kind of intertwined. Fortunately, a lot of them were like up at the windows handling the customers and didn't walk back through my area very often. But it was very difficult to deal with. Get sensitive eyes and headaches when someone overdoes the body spray. Yeah, it's it's not a fun experience at all. I'm fortunate that I don't normally have like an asthma type reaction where I can't breathe normally. Um, there's a couple scent combinations that will make me feel like my throat is closing up on me though. Lavender and lilac put together. Can't do it. That was bad. I had a real bad experience with that where it did feel like my throat was closing and I just couldn't stop coughing, and that was bad. Because my mother-in-law also loves her smelly shit, and I finally have gotten it into her head when she's here to constantly be drilling it into her head that I need to smell the thing before she brings it into the house. Because I need at least one space that I don't have to worry about weird smells making me feel sick. Like all of the laundry detergent is free and clear, can't have smells. We have one dryer sheet that I can tolerate. But she loves her smelly stuff, so constantly buying smelly lotions, and her big vice was fabric softener. And I'm like, no. I was like, it's gotta be the unscented. And she'd be like, okay, and then she would dump like a full cup of the smelliest one she had, and I'm like, ma'am, no. This is making me sick. This is not gonna work. I understand you want your fabric softener, and I'm sorry, but you can still use it if you go with like the non-smelly ones, because I know they make unscented ones, but I can't do this smelly stuff. And she'd be like, oh, okay. And then she did it again, like me hiding in a different room in the house while she was doing laundry wasn't cutting it after a while, and I was outside and she had stuff on the laundry, on the clothesline drying. And I got a whiff of it in the wind, and oh my goodness. My throat felt like it was instantly closing. I was like, no. And the husband got mad and like dumped all of it down the drain. We've repeated, like, I try to be as non-bitchy as I can about it, but so like when we travel, which is not very often, maybe right now, maybe once a year, maybe once every year and a half. We were traveling a bit, the 1 year back and forth trying to deal with my dad and stuff. When we were moving him down here, and then we had to move him back down here. That's a whole nother story. Like I have to I have to step into the room a lot of the time to make sure it's not too bad. We've found that Holiday Inn Express doesn't overly deodorize their rooms. Like they put something down. There is a scent, but I can tolerate it. Some hotel rooms, it's too much. But then I also have to like kind of carefully smell the hand soaps and stuff that they have in there. I remember the one place we stayed, the mother-in-law was traveling with us. And we were just staying at places that were pet friendly because we had the dogs with us too. And the Holiday Inn in that area was not pet friendly, so I think, where did we end up? La Quinta? Sleep In? I don't know, one of those. Might have been La Quinta. We walked in ahead of her. She was still in the car with the dogs, and we were checking the room before we started lugging everybody upstairs. And I checked the hand soaps, and it was it like a lavender, lilac, verbena or something? And I smelled it. I'm like, oh no, 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 hide that. Because she will open it and she will use it. I'm like, hide it. We will get our own bar of soap out of our luggage as soon as we get everything brought up. That's no. So we hid it like under a bunch of towels where there was some extra ones down at like the bottom of this extra towel rack area. And we came back in with her and the dogs. And I think we had to go down to get some more stuff. I don't think we had everything. I think we had to go down to get my pillow or something out of the car. And in the 5 minutes we were gone that we went downstairs to the car and came back up, she had found that bar of soap, or maybe there was a second one in the shower that I missed, and had opened it and used it. And like the second we walked in, I was like, oh God, the smell. And I'm like, we hid that so you purposely wouldn't use it. And she just kind of shrugged her shoulders. She's like, oh. I'm like, no. I was like, that is one of the scents that is really bad for me. That particular combination. We cannot use that. We'll be using our own stuff that we have with us. And it was a couple months later. I could not walk into her bedroom for more than like 2 to 3 minutes at a time because something in there just bothered the hell out of me. And she had left to go traveling with her sister or something. And the husband and I were like, we need to figure out what this is. So we started cleaning her room. And we found in a suitcase, in an outer pocket, all kinds of bars of smelly verbena plus something else soap, and just like a shopping bag full of it. And I'm like, oh my God. I was like, this is why I cannot breathe when I come into this room. It was awful. So we threw all that shit out. What's the wording on this? Same as usual. Okay, sometimes they change the wording up on this advertisement. So for me to report it, I need to try to get the wording on it. Post link. Say how old is this account? Like a day. Well, at least they didn't steal somebody's account. So let's see about getting this next bit tapped into here. I remember I used to do the country apple lotion from Bath and Body Works, and it always smelled a little sweet to me, but it was okay. And so it's what I had, so it's what I was using. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I had a migraine for 3 days straight, like sensitivity to light, couldn't get out of bed, sick to my stomach. It was horrible. Could not figure out what was doing it. I'm like, what is happening? And every single day, I was putting the lotion on my hands. And then I missed a day because I was just so feeling sick. And it started to back off. And I'm like, huh? And so I waited a few days and it finally stopped. And I went to put the lotion on my hands again. And the second I opened the bottle, my head started throbbing. And I'm like, oh no. I was like, oh dear. Well, we have found our trigger now. Now I can't even walk past that store. I will be like on the other side of the one mall that has one in it around here on the rare times that we're in that mall. I think we go in there maybe once every 2 years or something. Might be longer than that. They're near one of the entrances, and even when I'm like across both sides of the walking area where the stores are, I can still smell that store. Which kind of made me sad because I loved going in there. They had a scent that I did like, that I used for a long time. It was mandarin mango. That didn't bother me. That was like my scent, and they had it all the time, and then they made it a seasonal scent, and now I don't know if you can even get it anymore. It's been so long, and I kind of just gave up on the smelly stuff. Like, even my shampoos I have to be careful with. I have like 3 shampoos I rotate between. There's one that kind of smells like tea tree oil, which is fine. And the scent doesn't stay that long. There's another one that kind of smells like rose hips that I use when I color my hair. And that's okay. Usually. And then I picked up a lime scented shampoo, which I love, but it's expensive. So I don't get to use it that often, so I have to like rotate between all of mine to stretch out how long it's gonna last. And it's like in a bottle about this big, roughly 12 to 15 ounces. I'm pretty sure it's almost $30. Which kind of sucks that it's that much money for a shampoo. That kills me. But when I rotate between the different brands, I think that bottle of shampoo has lasted me a year now. I don't use it all the time, and I can't use that lime shampoo right after I color my hair. There is something in there that basically just strips the color out of my hair so much faster. So there's several weeks where I don't use it. And the color on my that I put on my hair says it washes out in like 6 weeks or something, and no, some of it does, but like my hair is pretty splotchy looking right now because sections of it have been stripped and it's down to the bleached color almost, and other sections are still holding on to the color that I dyed it to. It's kind of, I really need to re-dye it. I have another box of dye, but it's such a process. I really do need to redo it though, but I wasn't sure if I wanted to hold on to that box. And just wait and do it before we go on our trip if we're still able to go. We don't know yet. I'm hoping that we're still able to go in April, but we'll see. For my sanity, I hope we are. But that whole stove deciding to be stupid incident. I'm so mad over that stove too. We only had it the 2 years. If that, it was under 2 years. It wasn't even a full 2 years. So I remember we had to replace it when we got back from the one trip. That and the hot water heater kind of decided to eat shit at the same time. Although the hot water heater was like 20 years old. We did not know it was that old until we had someone come out. We're like, we don't have any hot water. And they're like, your control box went. However, this unit is so old. It doesn't meet current safety regulations, number one. And number two, we're going to have a real hard time trying to find the parts to replace that box because this unit is so old. So it was way over its lifespan. And when we found out how old it was, we realized that some of the bouts of rust that we had coming out of, or the discoloration coming out of the hot water at times, was probably coming from just buildup in the hot water heater. And so as much as we didn't want to, because it was quite expensive, we just ended up getting a new one. Because we had no idea if they were even going to be able to find a replacement control box. And at that point, we're like, if we spend the money to have them just replace the box, and then the whole unit just gives up like 2 months later, then we're going to be out even more money. So that was almost... that was like just over $2,000 to replace the hot water heater and have them do it. It wasn't an electric hot water heater, it was gas, and I didn't want the husband playing around with that. And we liked these plumbers. They've done us a solid in the past and not charged us as much as they potentially could have for a previous issue we had, so we decided to just have them do it. They were always pretty straightforward with us previously, so and they seemed to have different specialists for different things. Because it wasn't the same exact crew that we had for the sewer line that went bad that we had to get replaced. Are you sensitive to the smell of food sauces? I don't know about sauces, but food itself, yes. I cannot feed the dogs wet food because the smell of that makes me ill. Or makes me want to be ill. Fish and seafood. If I'm sitting outside at a restaurant and there's a good enough air circulation, I can get by. I can make it through. However, if I'm in an enclosed space, then I start to get a headache and get nauseous. Certain products of the instant noodles that you put in the microwave, there's one particular one that I can't do, that we found out after our friend who was living with us made it. And I'm like, oh no. No, 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 no. For some reason, sometimes, not all of the time, but sometimes, like KFC chicken, when it's warm, can give me a blinding migraine, but when it's cold, I'm fine. I don't understand that. It's very strange. And I feel like there's something else and I can't remember what it is. You can get sensitive to certain food smells, and with the wet dog food, yeah, the wet dog food, the husband has to feed them that. I can't handle that. Didn't you just come in? Mom wants to go out and smoke again, so we have to find the cat. Or the one cat, because Darty bastard likes to try to run for the doors, and my mom is not very fast. And he's already gotten out of the house once. So we're a little paranoid now because we had a really hard time getting him to come to us once he got outside. He was kind of hiding under our car. And I was trying to make sure he didn't run out the back while the husband ran inside to try to grab something to entice him to come to one of us. And I was standing near the front, which was near the road, and of course all the traffic was coming at that moment. I'm like, where's all this traffic coming from at this time of night? We did manage to grab him, but we're a little extra paranoid about that. But yeah, tuna fish, anything fishy, can't do that. Spam, I am sensitive to as well. Husband likes spam, so I try to stay in the other room when he's making it. But it just reminds me of the smell of wet cat food, and I can't. This is our in-between shade. But food I can be a little more tolerant to a degree. It really depends on the day and where I'm at. That's why I kind of liked being in Key West, because even though, you know, it's like seafood capital almost, a lot of the places that we could eat at had outside sitting options. So that way, at least there was air moving around me. And it was a little bit better. Oh, that's another thing. A lot of the um like Mexican food seasoning palette, a lot of that gives me a headache when we walk past a couple of the areas down here, a couple of the restaurants. There's one restaurant in particular that if I'm walking by there during their rush, there's a couple of seasoning combinations and I don't know what they are, but it will start to give me a headache. And that's never been a seasoning palette that I could eat. So I can't do tacos or any of that stuff. Sometimes have to do the same when you have to go into the other room. Yeah. Like I have to kind of remove myself. And that's fine. I know it's a me issue. And I do tell the husband that he can go ahead and have this, just, you know, we need to open the window in the kitchen, and I have a couple of incense sticks that I can burn to try to cover the smell, or at least tone it down. Sometimes that helps. But he hasn't been eating anything that's been of a questionable scent issue for me lately, so that's been helpful. So just kind of working on getting these colors, same colors that we've been using at the moment, worked into here. So I want to get the dark combination worked in here before I come back in with the lighter colors. So it kind of looks a little more like the same dog. The magnet that I finished last night, that's in the other room. I actually put it on the fridge so it stayed out of trouble. That and those magnets are pretty powerful on it. For being so tiny, so I didn't want to it try to stick to anything I didn't want it stuck to. And you know, cats. This color that I mixed together, that's almost dry. Just a little bit in the middle that still seems to be usable. Doesn't help that I have a fan on. It was really, really warm in here. I did see that we're gonna have lows back down into the 20s, I think, next week. Oh, hey! While you were gone, I was sitting here and I heard a whole bunch of like brakes screeching, and I was like, what in the hell? And I looked outside and a trash truck had stopped in front of the house, and some dude got out and started pulling the trash bags out of the trash cans and threw them into the trash truck. And I'm like, but today's not our trash day, and they weren't even on the side of the road. I guess he saw the bag laying in the yard. But I was so confused because it wasn't even our trash day. I was like, huh? Because he was facing the wrong direction, too. So he must have been going the other way and just suddenly decided to stop. Like, I'm not mad. I'm just confused. I'm not gonna be mad for somebody taking our trash. I was just like, huh? They don't normally do that. Maybe it's somebody new? I don't know. I know they were looking for a CDL driver for the waste department not that long ago, but so confused. I'm like, oh, okay. Sure, I guess. Right. I know I am sensitive to loud noises as well. And so while I liked to eat at some of the restaurants down in Key West, we had a couple go-tos. Unfortunately, those places had live music, like almost all of the restaurants down there had live music playing. Some of it better than others to me, but it would be cranked pretty loud, and somehow there was never a not loud space there to eat, even outside. And so I ended up getting noise canceling earbuds. And we had a cell phone that didn't have a SIM card in it that I could connect to the husband's the husband would put a hotspot on his phone, and I'd connect to that with this one so that I could either so I could communicate with him like through Discord. We'd be sitting there messaging each other while I had these noise canceling earbuds on, hooked up to the phone just with nothing playing on them to just dampen the sound around me. I can't do the big over the head headphones that are noise canceling because I can't stand the weight of them and they feel clunky. And even these little over the head headphones I have on, I hate. In the respect that they like kind of make my glasses dig into my face, and they will make the back of my ears, well, and the inside of my ears sore just from the pressure of it touching them. But I made sure I had those charged and with us whenever we were out and about in case we decided to stop somewhere. And that made things a little bit easier. So we would just be sitting there essentially texting each other most of the time. And sometimes I'd have to pop one out to hear the waitress and see what they were saying. But most of the time I would only have them in when we were just eating. Because the bass in a lot of the live music just felt like just glass being sliced through my ears, and I'm just like, oh my god, why? Alright, let's do another rinse. I think we can do maybe one more bit here before we have to run. But I think I have an idea of something that we can do on stream on Monday if I get this thing finished before then. I don't know if I will. Just don't know. Kind of depends on if I do decide to come back tonight. Like I said, it really is going to depend on how I'm feeling after dinner. I don't necessarily think I'm going to have a migraine after dinner, but yeah, tomorrow, I don't know. Going off how I'm feeling right now. But just make sure that you're following the Blue Sky account, since these are not planned stream days, to know when we're gonna go live. They do post over there. It's like X, former Twitter. But my sanity is doing a little bit better over there than it ever did on the other, especially towards the end of me leaving Twitter. Or you can just turn your notifications on here. That works too. Like, I was originally just going to record the end of this, but then I kind of didn't want to after we'd been working on it together. And then I was like, ugh, then that's more video editing I'm gonna need to do. I already have a bunch of it backlogged. Like, I need to edit the magnet as it is. And that's a good number of videos. I mean, I did break it down into smaller recorded amounts for most of it. But it's still gonna take me some time to put together. Oh, so husband.
Yeah.
I showed my mom the painting. I'm like, see, this is nowhere near done. She goes, what do you mean? All you have to do is finish slapping that one color in on the face. I'm like, no. I still have to do the fur texture, mother. I'm like, do you not see what shade this is and then the shade of the rest of the dog? This is nowhere near done. She thought I just had to finish slapping a coat of brown paint in around the eye. I'm like, no. No. This is a base coat and not anywhere near a final coat. Because she was mad at me. She's like, you said you weren't anywhere near done. I said, the painting? No, I'm not. This is the magnet. There was two things I was working on. I wasn't sure I was going to even have time to do the magnet, but I kind of found the time. And I believe I'm on video clip 97. I thought I was on 98, but it looks like it's 97 for the tissue paper project. I haven't done any editing on that in a couple of days. But that kind of had to go to the side and get paused for a little bit while I get this stuff done. So probably later this week, I probably will not be doing any extra streams. Certainly, well, I want to say certainly not on Thanksgiving, but I don't know yet. Kind of depends on A, how I'm feeling, B, how chaotic the day is going, and C, if we've actually finished this by then or not. We probably will be done this by then. I mean, we could go back to trying to do some Katamari, but I might just work on getting those final couple of crowns on my own. Because A, I'm terrible at it, and B, I might need the husband to help me.
Oh, have we reached that point?
Maybe. Alright, so we'll just get this. So I do have to come back in with our lighter mixture and do another round of tapping in through here, but I wanted to get all of the darker shading done first. As much as I could. So I'm gonna try to leave this little dark strip I've got going on there against the strap. Just so I can try to keep that slight bit of shadowiness in there. So a lot of my other shades here kind of dried in between getting these other ones popped in here, and it's gonna happen. I'm glad that I did take the time the other week and we got the Christmas stuff up and dealt with, because I certainly didn't want to have to deal with all of this kind of coming down to the wire on itself. And I probably wouldn't have been in this much of a rush originally if I hadn't decided to do these guys for my brother. It's slowly becoming something. Alright, well, it is slightly after 2 here, and we need to get the dogs out by 2:30 because school traffic getting out makes it a nightmare getting out of our driveway. We'll see about coming back later tonight to at least try to get this section done in here. We'll see. No promises on that. If I don't come back tonight, then I'll probably be back tomorrow. Migraine and body permitting, because we'll see if the body's gonna let me do anything extra tomorrow. So just keep an eye on Blue Sky or your notifications here. We're gonna play that by ear. And we'll see how things go. I do thank you guys for popping in, and don't forget to follow the social links down below. Again, those will take you to the Ko-fi page, the Blue Sky, and the YouTube channel. There's also, I think, a link in there to the eBay store, but I don't have anything up on the eBay store right now. So you don't need to bother going there at the moment. I will see everybody next time. And until then, have a good one.